I would now invite Dr. Alassane Idrisu, who is the government statistician, to come tell us why we are all here today. So please show some love to Dr. Alassane Idrisu as he joins us.
Thank you. Our special guest of honor, the Minister for Finance, ably represented by Honorable Deputy Minister for Finance, the Chairman and Board members of the Ghana Statistical Service, colleagues from MDAs, MMDAs. We have the co-chair of the GS Development Partners Group here present, the Deputy Government Statistician, and colleagues from the Ghana Statistical Service, our distinguished discussants and panelists, I'm sure they are present here, our partners from development agencies, civil society, the private sector, the academia, and our friends joining us online, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by welcoming you warmly to the 2025 Forum for Data Producers, Users, and Enhancers. This gathering sits at the heart of Ghana's statistical system. It brings together the people who generate data, the people who depend on data, and the people who expand its usefulness so that policy, investment, and public debate rest on evidence rather than intuition or assumptions. What this forum really reminds us of is very simple, that a nation becomes what it measures, what it funds, and what it chooses to understand. This means that sustainable development starts with sustainable data. Our distinguished guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, so one may ask, why does this conversation matter now? Just 3 weeks ago, Africa marked the 35th African Statistics Day under the continental call to use innovation to build fairer, safer, and more inclusive and prosperous societies. Today's theme builds directly on that vision. And the theme today is financing innovations in data and statistics for sustainable, inclusive development. The reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. Good policy is impossible without good data. Whether we are talking about budgeting, planning, performance management, and policy and program evaluation, all of these depend on numbers that are timely, complete, and credible. Our progress on the Sustainable Development Goals worldwide and the medium-term National Development Policy Framework domestically will rise or fall on the strength of our data systems. Data is a foundation of good governance. As we all know, when the numbers are clear, decisions become smarter, fairer, and more accountable. But ladies and gentlemen, the reverse is also true. If data is weak, patchy, or underfunded, the decisions will be too. Without timely, reliable statistics, effective planning is impossible. Strong data systems protect lives, they guide investment, and they drive national progress. How far have we come? Over the past few years, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana has shown that commitment and innovation can transform how a national statistical system works. The first fully digital population and housing census we conducted in 2021 actually set a new benchmark for speed, geospatial integration, and real-time quality assurance. We have modernized major operations in our service, whether we are talking about the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, or the Ghana Living Standards Survey, or our annual income and expenditure work we have been doing, or the labor force tracking exercise we embark on, or the tourism and agriculture surveys that we do, and our informal cross-border trade exercise that we do. If you look at all of these, you would realize that we've actually modernized our operations through all of these. Administrative data systems are improving. It is one of our priority areas in the field. And it is improving with growing attention to interoperability so that policy-related data does not arrive months or years later. And as we know, once we are able to fast-track and implement our administrative data agenda, we'll be able to save lots of money and we'll be able to generate data very quickly. We are also expanding new sources of insight, including the governance series, whose second wave we launched only recently. These gains did not happen by chance, ladies and gentlemen. They are the result of sustained partnerships, technical discipline, and national belief that evidence must shape our future. So where are we headed? To consolidate these gains, the third national strategy for development of statistics will guide the next phase of reforms. The NSDS 3 aligns with Ghana's digital transformation agenda and embeds data directly into planning, into budgeting, and accountability frameworks. The Power of Data initiative, which we launched in 2024, strengthens collaboration across government, industry, academia, and civil society. Its purpose is straightforward: make data more visible, more usable, and more influential in shaping development outcomes. Now, let's look at the financing question we cannot ignore. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these progress rests on a foundation we often take for granted, which is stable funding. Without this foundation, without this funding that we are talking about, innovation collapses. The systems will decay without it, and the cost of poor data is always far higher than the cost of producing good data. In fact, financing data is not a cost. It is an investment in economic stability, in social inclusion, and better outcomes for every household and community. Global evidence reinforces why sustained financing for data is essential. A United Nations study shows that every $1 invested in data systems generates an average return of $32 through improved policy decisions, stronger institutions, better targeting of resources, and reduced inefficiencies in public spending. If we accept that data is a public good, then we must finance it like one. We need predictable budgets across MDAs and MMDAs. We need financing models that blend public, private, and development resources, and that support experimentation with AI, geospatial systems, and real-time analytics. And we need strong governance, clear mandates, and value for money metrics that link every cedi invested to better quality, better coverage, and better use. Our special distinguished guests of honor, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why the government's allocation of resources, including the 207 million Ghana cedis in the 2026 budget to support the rebasing of CPI, GDP, and related activities is so significant for us. It signals a turning point, a national recognition that accurate statistics are essential infrastructure, just like roads, energy, and health systems. And on this note, ladies and gentlemen, let me pause to acknowledge the Ministry of Finance and Parliament in general, and the Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Atuforsen in particular. Their leadership in prioritizing data and statistics in the 2026 budget is a major step forward. This commitment did not emerge in isolation. It reflects deliberate engagement, a clear understanding of the value of evidence for economic management, and a willingness to invest in the systems that anchor fiscal discipline, growth, and accountability. We deeply appreciate the ministry's recognition that without strong data, public policy cannot achieve its intended results. This partnership strengthens our national statistical system and sets a new standard for financing evidence in Ghana. We celebrate this step, and we encourage continued, consistent investment that matches the scale of Ghana's development ambitions. Now, let's talk about strengthening partnerships that deliver impact. Our distinguished guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, progress in data is always collective. We acknowledge the support and partnership with our key stakeholders, including our development partners, our civil society institutions, the private sector, academia, and the rest. Today, I invite our partners to deepen that collaboration in at least 4 areas. 1, we should build multi-year sustainable financing compact aligned with the NSDS 3 and the Power of Data initiative. 2, we should accelerate skills development in statistics, data science, sector analytics, and ethical AI. 3, we should continue to strengthen administrative data systems by investing in tools, standards, and interoperability. And 4th, but not the least, we should expand data use by supporting Parliament, supporting Cabinet, supporting MDAs and MMDAs to embed evidence directly into reviews, into reforms, and budget process. So, what should today's forum achieve? Ladies and gentlemen, today's forum is deliberately very practical, if you look at the way we've designed it. We will explore financing models, we will examine innovations, we will hear from the private sector, we will hear from researchers, development partners, and civil society. And at the end of the day, develop practical, concrete recommendations that move us from discussions to implementation. The exhibitions and technical sessions are designed to show what is possible, not just what is planned. I encourage everyone to engage openly, question the assumptions, test ideas, and propose solutions that can be implemented immediately. As I close, let me offer this reminder that data is not an academic exercise. It influences who gets public services, which regions receive investment, how risk is managed, how resources are allocated, and how lives are improved. Every major policy, budget, development choice must begin with data and ends with measurable impact. This is how we build the Ghana we want. When we produce data well, fund it sustainably, and use it consistently, we strengthen institutions, we protect the vulnerable, and we open opportunities for every community. So I invite each of us here today to make at least 3 commitments. First, let's advocate for predictable multi-year financing so that data is treated as a core public infrastructure. Second, let's embrace innovation responsibly, ensuring that digital tools, geospatial systems, and AI strengthening would support our data generation abilities and deliver real value for our citizens. And third, but not the least, let's elevate the culture of evidence so that every major policy, every major reform, every significant investment, and every public program begins with data and ends with accountability and impact or outcomes. If we do these 3 things in the list, Ghana will not only improve how it makes decisions, we will improve the lives and shape the livelihoods and path by those who live by those decisions. On behalf of the Ghana Statistical Service and our development partner group, I welcome you all once again to this year's forum. I look forward to a day of honest engagement, bold thinking, and workable solutions that we can all stand behind. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause.